Hi everyone, this is Ashley. I hope y'all are having a good evening. I wanted to conduct an experiment just based off of a typical question I seem to get all the time, and I've read on several forums, trying to conceive in parenting forums, where the question I've heard more often than not is, how long is a urine sample good for that contains HCG in it? Some people, have suggested that they could possibly maybe pee in a cup and hold the sample for a few hours or even a day or two until their husband gets home from work, or say he's out of town for work or whatnot. So I thought I would conduct an experiment, because I think that's a good question. So how long typically is HCG in a urine sample good for? Now, I have this urine sample here that was donated to me from a friend who's pregnant, and I've actually had it sitting out for about 11 days now. I did an experiment when it was a few hours old to see if the temperature in the urine would yield a different result or have an effect on the positive result. And I actually also did another experiment when it was a couple days old, maybe 3 days old. So now I want to see, typically just how long a sample is actually good for and how long it can really sit out, and does it really make a difference? So that's what I want to find out today. This has been sitting out for 11 days. It's not been refrigerated. It's just been sitting out room temperature in this cup, and let's find out if it yields a positive result. Just so you know, this is a highly concentrated urine sample. It's been held for a minimal of 2 to 4 hours, abstaining from beverages such as Coke, tea, soda, water, all that good stuff, which is typically what you want to do. And if you're in early pregnancy or possible early pregnancy, it's highly suggested to use your first morning urine, which has the absolute highest concentration of HCG, which is the human chorionic gonadotropin, which is secreted once implantation occurs. And it's the fertilized egg that burrows into the uterus lining. So typically after a couple days, it secretes enough of the hormone to where when you test, and especially if you're using a highly sensitive test, it'll yield a positive result. If you're further along in your pregnancy, or say you've missed your period by a week or even more than a week, you typically can use a lower sensitivity test and yield a pretty positive result as well. Just so you know, the way it works, if there is, especially when using a dye test, regardless of whether it's pink dye or blue dye, the control line is going to indicate that the test is working properly. If a line forms within the strict 10-minute window, no matter how faint the line may be, as long as it yields color, and even if it doesn't, if it's within the 10 minutes, it's safe to say that that's usually a positive result. And you can test once every couple days or so, because the HCG actually doubles in levels every couple of days. So you can watch as we do this thing called progression test, where the test line actually starts to get darker and darker and darker as more HCG is present in the urine. And at that point, you can make a doctor's appointment and confirm your pregnancy and get an ultrasound or a blood test to make sure it's a healthy pregnancy, and vice versa in case it's what is known as a chemical pregnancy. Sometimes even with a chemical pregnancy, if you do charting and you typically around, I would say 7 to 10 DPO. If you get a faint line and then it starts to get lighter every couple of days, that can be an indication of early miscarriage, which essentially is what a chemical pregnancy is. And the bleeding would occur right around the time of your period. So most of us would think that it's just a normal period. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and this is a cassette test. You can find these at Walmart. They're about 88 cents. They're very inexpensive. And use a dropper, and you just do about 4 to 5 drops right here, and then the dye is going to run over the test line and the control line. The control line will appear to indicate that the test is working properly. If for some reason that doesn't happen, then the test is going to be considered invalid and you'd want to retest. If presence of HCG is detected, the dye and the hormone is actually going to react with the antibody strip, and then you're going to see a color of some sort, a line with color, depending on the dye, whether it's a blue or pink dye, form right there. So, okay, again, this has been sitting out for 11 days. How good is a urine sample? Or how long is a urine sample good for? So let's find out. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Now, it's about 6 minutes, and the dye is running over, and that's normal, and that's what it does. So as that happens, you can almost see that a line immediately starts to appear, and this is a 50 mLu test. So the test line starts to appear before the control line if you're further along in the pregnancy. With early pregnancy, you may have to wait a couple minutes for the test line to appear. But just keep in mind, no matter how dark or how faint the test line is, if it appears within the allotted 10-minute window, then it is in fact a true positive, and especially if the line has color. If anything appears outside of the 10-minute window, you would want to discard that test because it can be an evaporation line, and evaporation lines occur once the urine has dried. Sometimes they have color, most often than not they don't. It's usually like a grayish color or may appear as an indentation. And my rule of thumb is, just like as you're seeing right here, usually if you're pregnant, it's not going to take very long for some sort of a line to appear. If you're having to take the test and hold it up to a light, shine a flashlight on it, take it apart, even if you are pregnant, you're probably not far enough along to yield a positive result. So I would just wait a day or two and retest. And with that being said, also, if you're not pregnant, more than likely that's an evaporation line. It's been about 2 minutes, and there's a very, very positive test line. And again, this sample's been sitting out for about 10 days, 11 days. It's not been refrigerated. The HCG is very good, and it still yields a positive result. So for those of you who are worried about peeing in a cup and holding it for a little while, I can safely say that it's fine. If you're early in pregnancy, I'm thinking a few hours would be okay, even 24 hours. I haven't tested the theory with early, early pregnancy or an amount of HCG that is very little. This pregnancy is a little further along to where, I felt safe to test with a 50 mLu. So, but again, I'm sure a few hours, even 24 hours would be fine. If you're a little further along, say it's been a week, you've missed your period, it's been about a week, you can hold that sucker for about a week. Sitting out, a few days easily, and the sample's going to be fine. The HCG is actually going to be fine. So that's really interesting. And I thought I would share that with you. The urine hasn't actually even finished, going completely across, and the test line is positive. So there you have it. I thought that was very interesting. And That's a good question, and there's your answer. So it's safe to say that HCG definitely stays good in urine. I would highly recommend not waiting any longer than maybe 24 hours with an early pregnancy. If you're a little further along and like I said, you've missed your period by a week or so, it's probably safe to say that regardless of whenever you decide to test that sample, it's going to be fine, and you're going to yield a positive result, as you can see. So there you have it. All right, well, if you found this video educational and informative and you've enjoyed watching it, do me a favor and give this video a like, and also subscribe to our channel. We sure would appreciate that, and I will definitely continue making these videos. Go ahead and like us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/pianostickfreak. Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/pianostickfrk for freak. And also Instagram, which is pianostickfreak. We also have this really amazing support group on Facebook. It's called Pianostick Freaks, and it's a trying to conceive an informational support group. So, look us up and join the group. We have some really terrific ladies on there, and we'd love to have you. Very laid-back group. And also check out our website, www.pianostickfreak.com, where we update our content quite frequently. You can actually look at home pregnancy test galleries where you'll see pink dye, blue dye, positive results, negative results, evaporation lines, digitals, dye runs and all that good stuff, and even progression tests. We also have a OPK and home pregnancy test strip giveaway right now, where it's like a like and share contest, where the more you participate and the more you get people to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and our social networks and all that good stuff, and some of the stuff that we have going on where, if you want to submit your, say, pregnancy test, or even we're going to be creating a basal body chart gallery as well if you want to submit your charts. Anything you can do will ultimately, in the end, give you a better chance of winning. So I hope to see you participating. And with that being said, that's a very, very positive result. That's a highly concentrated urine sample, and it's been sitting out, like I said, for about 11 days, and it's yielded a very positive result. So my conclusion is it's very safe to let it sit out for a few hours, even 24 hours in early pregnancy. And if you're further along, well, heck, you can let it sit out for a week and it'll be fine. And you don't even have to stick it in the refrigerator. So, all right. Thank you so much. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and I'm wishing you lots and lots and lots of baby dust. This is Ashley signing off, and I will see you soon.